Yo, Elliott.
Yo, Elliott, I have a question for today's office hours. How do I get my younger brothers to listen to me? I have two twin brothers that are 18 right now. Lately, they simply don't listen to what I have to say and completely disregard it. I feel the urge to help them as fast as I can. Any help is greatly appreciated. Man, so I was watching a video today by Bishop Barron. He was talking about the three things that the church holds in high regard. The good, the true, and the beautiful. The good, the true, and the beautiful. That's one of the things that Catholics will say often. You know, our faith is based on what's good, what's true, and what's beautiful. And then Bishop Barron was like, but I propose that rather than saying what's good, what's true, lead with what's beautiful. And so he says we should really lead with the beauty, then show how it's good, and then define truth. And I was like, wow. He says, because most people today, if you try to tell them the truth, they'll reject you right away because we live in a subjective age. You tell somebody, listen, this is false, this is true. They're going to say, who are you to tell me what's true? So you can't go around saying to your brothers, listen, that's false. What you're believing is wrong. This is not true. They're going to say, who are you? You can't lead with the truth. You absolutely cannot convince anybody with the truth today. The truth carries no weight because everybody makes up their own truth. Another thing is good or bad, good and evil is subjective too. You can't lead with moral laws today because there is no sense of morality. You could say to your brothers, look, that's morally abject. That is morally wrong. According to who? You? Just because you say so? Or maybe, they'll say, oh, you're a religious nut just because your crazy book says so? Moral laws? I can kill my baby in the womb. There's no moral law against that. It's my body, my choice. You try to come at them with morality, basic human morality, they can't hear it. Don't go trying to convince people with anything that's true or good. That has to come after you present the beauty. What is beauty? Beauty is form. Show them what truth and goodness you hope to present them with. So for example, by the grace of God, I have a great family. I have a beautiful family. I have a wife that we've been married for over 20 years, started dating when we were teenagers. I go around saying family and marriage is good. And it's true that we're designed for monogamy as human beings. Most people can't hear it. All we have to do is be around people and they want to get married. And I'm not blowing my own horn, but this is just the feedback we get. They're like, wow, you guys are so beautiful together. I don't have to tell you marriage is good. I don't have to tell you marriage is true. All I got to do is say, hey, yeah, we've been together since we were teenagers. Yeah, we've been married 20 years. Yeah, and they watch the way we are together. They see the form of a beautiful marriage, and they're like, I'm sold. Because it's a display. It's a form. You're showing the form. So the very things that you want to imbibe in your brothers, you got to show it to them. You got to let them see it somehow. It's the craziest thing if you read the Bible. Everything in the Old Testament is either don't do this, do that. This is bad, this is good. Jesus comes, and he doesn't tell any laws, really. What does he do? He tells stories. It's the craziest thing. It's just a bunch of stories. Jesus is telling a bunch of stories, but what do stories do? Just like art, it takes you out of yourself. He's going to say that there was a farmer who was sowing seeds, or there was a wealthy man and he was throwing a party, right? What is he doing? He's taking imagery, form, and using form and imagery and metaphor to describe what? The truth and what's good and what's bad without saying the truth and what's good and bad. He does not say anything about truth or good and bad. Not that he says he is the truth, but you get my point. You want to convince your brothers of stuff? Tell them stories. Whenever I find something that supports one of my ideas that I try to get my children to understand, I share it with them. I say, hey, look at this story of this person that had this problem and look how they solved it. Isn't that amazing? What do you think about that? What do you get from that story? I don't have to tell them anything. I just ask them, hey, what does this story mean to you? Where do you put yourself in that story? And if you're honest, that story will work on you. It'll work on you. And so that's the way you will convince your brothers. Be a walking icon for what you expect for them or what you wish for them. This is what I wish for you, and I will display it in my own life. And I'll give you one last piece. Pray. Pray with intensity. When I say pray with intensity, I mean pray, and the words you use, let them clothe your imagination about that person, what's happening to them. So when I pray over my children, or I pray for my children, and I pray a seal of protection around them, I see in my mind, I literally see a bubble of protection. Every time I pray for my children at night, I see in my mind's eye a bubble of protection going around them in their bed. I see in my mind. Prayer is projection. A big part of mental prayer is projecting the images of your prayer into the person. This is a lot of new age stuff too, which new age is a lot of times a knockoff of Catholic theology. What do the law of attraction people do? They visualize and they keep visualizing, they keep visualizing, they keep visualizing. Pray and keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. Pray for your brothers. Lord, please give them the grace to see the truth. See in your mind's eye them seeing something and their eyes lighting up. God, give them the grace to amend their lives. See in your mind's eye them making different decisions. See in your mind's eye them nodding their heads at the reception of some wisdom. And then repeat it over and over and over and over again. And I guarantee you're going to see a change in their lives. So I hope that helps, dude. Done.
Yo, Elliott.